Verse 7. But contrariwise, when they saw that the gospel of the uncircumcised was committed unto me, as the gospel of the circumcision was unto Peter. Let's understand that there were not two gospels in the sense that of Peter's gospel and Paul's gospel. These men were in complete agreement. The gospel of the circumcision and the gospel of the uncircumcision refer to the groups the gospel was going to. The Gentiles were the group that Paul was speaking to. He was called to go to the Gentiles, the uncircumcised. Peter was called to go to his own Jewish brethren who were the circumcised. Verse 8. For he that wrought effectually in Peter to the apostleship of the circumcision, the same was mighty in me toward the Gentiles. The proof of the pudding, of course, is always in the eating. What result were they getting? When Peter preached the gospel, quite a few people were saved. When Paul preached the gospel, quite a few people were saved. They were both preaching the same gospel. Now, bringing this principle down to where we live, the real test of any Christian work is not promotion. The real test is the result it gets. God's people should be very sure that they are supporting a ministry that gets results. If it is not producing results, why in the world do you support it? Verse 9, and when James, Cephas, and John, who seems to be pillars, perceived the grace that was given me, they gave to me and Barnabas the right hand of fellowship, that we should go unto the heathen, and they unto the circumcision. I think it's interesting. James is a latecomer. He's a brother of Christ, but he didn't believe in Jesus until after his resurrection. But anyway, the apostles accepted Paul's apostleship, the right hand of fellowship. Fellowship is the uh, Greek koinonia, one of the great words of the gospel and the highest expression of a personal relationship. It means sharing the things of Christ. Verse 10. Not only uh, with that we would remember the poor, the same which I also was forward to do. Paul came back later with an offering for the poor saints in Jerusalem because that church had been persecuted and was in a sad condition. Because Paul himself, uh, before his conversion, had led the persecution, he wanted to bring the gift for the Jerusalem church with his own hands. This was social service, a thing that we fundamentalists are guilty of is a lack of real service in this area. James, in his very practical epistle, says, if a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you say unto them, depart in peace, be warmed and filled, notwithstanding, ye give them not those things which are needed to the body, what doth it profit? Even so, faith, if it hath not works, is dead, being alone. James chapter 2, verse 15 through 17. And the apostles were in Jerusalem, said, now, Brother Paul, don't forget to help the poor folk. And Paul said that was the very thing I was eager to do. And that concludes